FearNet's Vicious Circle is presented by Fox's catalog of Halloween titles.
So, as lovers of horror and horror movies, some things are sacred. People are always so upset when they hear that one of their beloved classics is being remade.
It's something you love, it's something you cherish, and you don't want to let it go. And yeah, it's always hard to tell somebody, well, I'm going to do something that you love, but only better, Nobody wants new M&Ms.
Yeah, but
they want them just like they are.
I think it's good because some of the, you have the different generations. So you have the new kids that didn't see the original film. Sure. And then they get to experience, this film. And then maybe go back and then see the original. I understand why they make them. I mean, I've been in 100 of them. I'm a big fan of, it's a business. This is a business. Sure. And, maybe the kids will go see the new one. And then they go, well, let me check out the original. So it's business for everybody.
Absolutely.
That's a good way of looking at it. I didn't really think about it that way.
Or sometimes maybe studios are willing to gamble on an artist that nobody knows of. Like, for example, the remake of Last House on the Left for me is one of the most gorgeous horror films ever shot. Yeah. And the movie's not a heavy effects film. There's some really, really upsetting moments of violence in it. But, I mean, just the cinematography was beautiful.
It's not necessarily a replacement either. It can be making a place for multiple things. It's not that you're substituting one for the other, but adding to the whole mix. And especially a movie like Hills Have Eyes or The Last House on the Left, where originally when they came out, what was going on are not the same issues that we're dealing with today, and it's certainly not the same audience. I mean, the audiences are certainly changing, don't you think?
I think people were sort of still recovering from the Manson murders and realizing that all hippies weren't these flower children that smoked weed and danced in flowers. But that's not really on people's minds anymore.
And neither is nuclear waste as much, even though probably still should be, but some of the other things about the
right, it's no longer in the news. Vampirism, though that certainly is popular now, would have had a much different effect had it been popular then. You know
Absolutely.
What I mean?
Okay, here's one. What about Child's Play? Does this new generation need a new Chucky or more sequels? What do you think?
Well, I think it could certainly stand for one. Although I love the original. Brad Dourif had a lot to do with that as the voice of Chucky, I think if you had somebody like that, I think you'd be in pretty good shape.
Yeah, that was a really, really fun, crazy sort of, movie where I think if you remade it, it would be really cool.
But it was an awesome original.
Yeah.
That scared the hell out of me. It shouldn't have. I mean, it's, talking dolls are, far older
They're
than
scary.
Twilight
Anything
Zone
with a face.
Yeah, clowns like in Poltergeist and Chucky the doll. Absolutely.
There's no faces in my house. No pictures with faces on it. All those movies scared me to death.
Would you be in it? That's the question.
Heck yeah.
So Greg,
yes.
What movie can they not remake?
If they remake Jaws, I'm not going to live on this planet anymore. No, we all know the reason it's so effective is because we don't see the shark very often, and now with CGI, it would be like jumping around and just grabbing the boat. And
it's interesting, if you watch Cronenberg's The Fly, the remake, speaking of remakes, what's fascinating about that movie is you remember Jeff Goldblum transmogrifying into that fly, but if you watch the picture, most of it is just Gina Davis and he talking in his laboratory, and that's about 3/4 of the movie, where nothing's really happening. There's no scares, there's no surprises. And I don't know how he does it, frankly. It's really quite a masterful directing feat. It's a tough thing to pull off. But Jaws, yeah, I could see that remade, but you couldn't. I respect that. You want to take this outside, buddy? Own these terrifying moments on Blu-ray and DVD.